The Anaheim Ducks are eliminated in 6 games to the Predators of Nashville, Tennessee. It's a long story. The Predators have picked up a lot of fans around the league along the way on their playoff journey, but with the Ducks out, I don't know, the playoffs just seem a little less fun, a little less dramatic anyway. If you want a series full of anger and hate and just old-time hockey, quote-unquote, that is the Ducks. The Flames only lasted 4 games, but they didn't leave that series liking the Ducks. I don't think the Oilers and Ducks are going to be exchanging Christmas cards either. And the Ducks and Predators essentially ripped each other apart all series long. And yes, the Predators did win, but the Ducks took a chunk of them with them. Let's go through it game by game. Game 1, after 3 periods of play, the Predators were out shooting the Ducks 39-27, so naturally we needed overtime. The shots were 7-2 in overtime. John Gibson just couldn't do it all by himself, and the Ducks' luck ran out. James Neal scores the OT winner. Preds go up 1-0. Game 2, the Preds are up 2-0. Holy smokes, Anaheim's got home ice advantage in this series, and they are staring down being down 2-0 in this series on home ice in both games, which means you got to go into Nashville and win both games if you want to tie this series. That's easier said than done. But these are the Ducks. And all playoffs long, that's just kind of been what they've done. They completely erased the 2-0 deficit early in the second period, and after falling behind 3-2, they eventually take the 5-3 victory. The series is tied. And Battle of the Ryans begins. Ryan Johansson calls out Ryan Kesler in a way I haven't really heard in a long time. Like, it was personal. Like, sometimes you'll hear, like, oh, that guy's gutless, that guy's classless, oh, I don't like the way that guy plays. Johansson was like, I don't know how anyone cheers for Kesler. And he said, I don't know how his family cheers for him. I'm not kidding. Here's the actual quote. He just blows my mind. I don't know what's going through his head out there. His family and friends watching him play, I don't know how you cheer for a guy like that. Okay, who's not watching Game 3 after that? And it's like I said, the Ducks do have that effect on people. Game 3, again, after 2 periods of play, the shots are 28-13 for the Predators, so naturally it's 1-0 Ducks. And naturally it's Corey Perry. Doesn't he just make you so mad? The Ducks have that effect on people. Philip Forsberg ties it early in the third. Roman Josi wins it late in the third. John Gibson can't do it all himself. There's another theme, and the Ducks lose. Preds take the 2-1 series lead in Smashville. Game 4, heading into the third period in Nashville, where the Predators do not lose games, the Ducks are up 2-0. And yeah, they should be. The Ducks outshot the Predators 14-2 in the first, but once they find themselves in a bit of a pickle, third period comes and the Predators proceed to throw the kitchen sink at the Ducks. Subban, blam, cuts the lead to 1. Last minute of the game, puck is in the air. Where did it go? Where did it go? Philip Forsberg knows. He buries it. It's tied. We're going to overtime. But all that momentum that the Predators had seemed to shift back to the Ducks. Ducks apply the pressure. The Ducks get the OT winner. Corey Perry wins it, ends Nashville's winning streak at home. Doesn't he make you so mad? The Ducks have that effect on people. Are you seeing a trend? And that was Perry's 4th of the playoffs, by the way. He wasn't having a spectacular Corey Perry-like playoffs, but man, he just knows when to score. More like he knows how to score at important times. The answer for when should I score is always, but not everyone can. Anyway, let's move on to Game 5. This might be a bit dramatic, but almost a franchise-defining game for the Predators. They're in a position they have not been in, such a rare position for any team. You're 2 wins away from the Stanley Cup Final. The series is tied, and you lose Ryan Johansson for the rest of the playoffs. It was due to acute compartment syndrome in his left thigh, which... don't Google that. So the Predators, they could use some heroes. Other teams have gotten by. These playoffs seem like a war of attrition. Like, who's left? Well, I'll tell you who's left. Pontus Aberg, who has a pretty unique name as it is, but after that goal he should be called Pontus Ababior. Flying through the air and putting the puck in the net. Who do you think you are? The Game 5 hero. That's who. Preds take the 3-2 series lead. They have a chance to move on. In Nashville, where the fans are insane, where they wave their towels to cheer on their team and wring out the nervous sweat. It's actually a really gross visual. Oh, and did I mention Jonathan Bernier starting in this one, John Gibson out. Did I mention who the heck is left? Ducks outshoot the Predators 12-4 in the first, leave the first period down 2-0. Ducks outshoot the Predators 13-4 in the second period, and they get one, but they're still down 2-1 heading into the third. Colton Sisson scores his second of the game to put the Predators up 3-1, but Chris Wagner and Cam Fowler score to tie the game at 3. The playoffs are stupid and crazy and nuts. Sisson scores his hat-trick goal, which ended up being the game-winning goal, and the Predators beat the Ducks and move on to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in franchise history. And by the way, out to accept the trophy that no one shall touch, Mike Fisher in a suit because he wasn't playing. Who is left? Mike Fisher leaves this series. Ryan Johansson is on crutches. Kevin Fiala was knocked out before this series even began. Pekka Rinne has been spectacular throughout these playoffs and was spectacular for most of Game 6, but this series definitely showed that he's not perfect. The Stanley Cup does not necessarily go to the best team in the NHL. And that's not an insult to whoever makes it there. It's a compliment. Because if you win, you're certainly the best that's left. And the Stanley Cup goes to the team that perseveres the most. Now, the Nashville Predators have been through hell and back. At the time I'm making this video, I don't know who their opponents are going to be, but whether it's the Penguins or the Senators, both of those teams have been through hell and back. It feels like the three teams left are Milwaukee, Binghamton, and Wilkes-Barre. There's a lot of ifs and buts. There's only one Stanley Cup champion. And right now, the Nashville Predators have a chance to do it for the first time in franchise history. And in case I haven't made it perfectly clear, that means PK Subban has a chance to do it. I don't have anything to expand on that. I just figure you haven't had that bashed into your brain enough over the last 24 hours. But at the end of the day, the point is this. The Predators, a team who so many people had getting swept in the first round, are at the dance. Do they have what it takes despite all their injuries? Can their fatal four-way on D of PK Subban, Matthias Ekholm, Roman Josi, and Ryan Ellis stay a fortress? And can Pekka Rinne keep up this run that might just win him the Conn Smythe? We're about to get answers to all of those questions in the Stanley Cup Final. So that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. And now we wait on Ottawa and Pittsburgh.